Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to take that stack of sources you sent over, pull out the key insights, and, help cut through some of the noise.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
So today's deep dive is into some really interesting stuff you sent us about redefining worth, specifically what that looks like. Well, beyond burnout.
It's a powerful theme.
Definitely. Our mission here really is to explore this shift. The sources talk about moving away from valuing yourself based on how busy or, frankly, how tired you are, towards finding worth and maybe some peace in a totally different way.
Okay.
So let's unpack this. Your sources kick off with this pretty striking initial mindset, this feeling, right?
Yeah.
That you're only valuable when you're just constantly busy, always moving.
Right, exactly. And the sources, they really hammer home how deep this runs. One note actually says something like, I used to measure my worth by how tired I was. Yeah. If they weren't totally drained, it felt like, they hadn't done enough. It wasn't just doing the work, it was performing the busyness itself.
And framing all that constant activity as grinding, sometimes even calling burnout ambition.
Oh, absolutely. Bragging about no days off, celebrating that relentless pace, it might look like real dedication from the outside.
Sure.
But like your sources show, the reality underneath was just deep exhaustion. Profound, really.
Physically, emotionally, mentally, even spiritually, they mention.
And this connects to what the sources said about external validation. That quote, people clapped for my hustle, but no one asked if I was okay. So you might be seeing these outward signs of success, maybe making good money.
Right.
But the cost. According to this, it was losing myself in that whole process.
So it starts with this kind of perspective where burnout becomes almost like a badge of honor.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, look how hard I'm pushing, look how depleted I am, that must mean I'm valuable, important even.
That's the initial framing.
Okay, but here's where, based on your sources, it gets really interesting. This realization that the whole burnout is a badge thing, it's actually a complete misread. Burnout isn't a badge. The sources say it's a warning sign.
And that shift, that change in perspective, is just crucial according to these sources. It's moving away from that mindset where, self-destruction proves your worth.
Yeah.
To one that understands self-preservation actually has value. Your material plainly states learning that rest isn't weakness, it's wisdom.
So the wisdom isn't in pushing until you break, but in recognizing your limits and actually honoring them.
Precisely. The sources seem to suggest that wisdom lies in seeing rest as something that prevents the breakdown. It allows for clarity, sustainability, and ultimately more effective effort.
Yeah.
Totally contrasts with that relentless grinding idea.
And this leads right into a concept highlighted in your sources, the soft life. But they clarify it pretty quickly, don't they? It's not about doing nothing. It's